You should consider an EE in biology if you love biology. You also want to be comfortable using or working with vocabulary that is subject specific, because you will have to read the primary research in the area. Your essay has to involve a lot of reference to what people have already found out. So if it sounds fun to explore that, you should do that. Also, there will probably be hands-on research involved, so you need to be willing to put the time into that part of it. You want to enjoy being in a lab situation. Common misconceptions for the EE in biology include the idea that it's the IA over again, which it really isn't. There has to be a lot of analysis of your sources, and it does need to be a debatable question, not something that is clearly answered already in the research. So you might have a question that might be interesting to you and then find out that it's already answered, and then you can't do that topic. So you have to start by reading what people have already found out. And in the text of your essay, there needs to be a lot of discussion and evaluation of the scientific understanding that we're starting from. And then how you select your approach, you collect your data, what the data shows you, that part is similar to an IA, but there's a lot more discussion and evaluation of current scientific understanding than there would be in the IA. It's also commonly thought that you can do the EE in biology if it has only some biological content, but you really have to be careful of stuff that's actually more psychology or sports and sports science or chemistry, because they mostly evaluate it on the biological content. So you do need to watch what your topic is. Make sure it's clearly biological.
Great.
Frequently asked questions. One thing is, do I need to do my own research in the laboratory? In the subject reports, basically they say, yeah, you don't have to, but the best reports are ones that have a straightforward lab aspect in the school. You don't need to do anything really fancy at another institution. It's actually better if whatever your question is, you can collect some sort of data that will help you answer that. That's your own data to analyze. I could tell you 2 examples of EEs that I've had that have scored well in biology. One was an investigation into Japanese condiments that might have antimicrobial properties. A lot of EEs for biology are based on bacterial growth, which is fine, but you need to have something interesting and creative about it. So this student tested a bunch and then found out a couple interesting things and did a second round of research by looking then at different concentrations and to see how that worked for the ones that were the most effective. And then also found that pre-prepared wasabi had no antimicrobial effect while fresh did, and then explored a little bit further into that. So that showed a lot of the creativity and analysis that they really look for. And the other one was also happened to be antibiotic properties, and that was looking at different places around Thailand that sell antibiotics with or without a prescription, and then seeing based on how close it was to the expiration date and what type of facility it was purchased in, a regulated pharmacy, a non-regulated pharmacy, or a hospital, if that varied how effective the same antibiotics would be. Both of those were A's and they scored well.
Great.
My advice is, if you're thinking about biology, make sure it's something you really want to do. Because in some of the EEs, you do your literature review and then you go on from there. But that's only your first step in biology. First, you have to do the lit review, and then you have to actually design, get the materials, collect, and analyze your own data. So it is a commitment, and it can be super rewarding if you enjoy it. But if that's not what you're into, think carefully.